said no, but you know what, May? I knew I had to go to Buckingham Palace, I didn't. I was never in trouble with the police. Not May. I'm a good girl. Well, what I say is right. I won't go near the king. Not if I'm going to have my hair cut off. If I'd known what I was letting myself in for, I wouldn't have come here. I've always been a good girl. And I never offered to say a word to him. And I don't owe him nothing. And I don't care. And I won't be put upon. And not my feelings the same as anyone else. I tell you, it's easy to clean up here. Hot and cold water on tap. Just as much as you like there is. Woolly towels there is. And a towel all so hot it burns your fingers. Soft brushes to scrub yourself. And a wooden bowl of soap smelling like primroses. Now my ladies is so clean. Washing's a treat for them. Wish they saw what it is for the like of May. Oh, I should just like to take a taxi to the corner of Tottenham Court Road and get out there and tell it to wait for me. Just to put the girls in their place a bit. I will speak to them, you know. You don't call the like of them my friends now, I should do. They took it out of me often enough with their ridicule when they had a chance. Now I need to get a bit on my own back. But if I'm to have fashionable clothes, I'll wait. I should like to have some. Mrs. Pierce says you're going to give me some to wear in bed at night, different to what I wear in the daytime. But it don't seem waste of money when you could get something to shoe. Besides, I never could fancy changing into cool things for the winter night.
My name's Willie. We both got boys' names. I was expected to be a boy, but I wasn't. They had one girl already, Alba. She was my sister. What a girl needs to get along with social training. I learned all of that from my sister Alba. She had a wonderful popularity with the railroad men, engineers, firemen, conductors, even the freight superintendent. We were a boarding house for railroad men. She was, I guess you might say, the main attraction. Beautiful? Jesus. She looked like a movie star. One of them used to bring her, regular, after each run, a great big, heart-shaped, red sealed box of assorted chocolates and nuts and hard candies. Marvelous. You know where is Alva now? You'll never guess. She's in the bone orchard. You don't know the half of it, boy. We used to have some high old times in that big yellow house. Till Alva's lungs got affected. Did you see Greta Garbo in Camille? She had the same one Alva died of. Only it was very beautiful the way she had it. You know, violins playing, and loads of white flowers. All of her lovers came back in a beautiful scene. But Alva's all disappeared. Like rats from sinking ship. That's how she used to describe it. Except Sydney. But she never did care for Sydney. She said his teeth was decayed, so he didn't smell good. It wasn't like death in the movies. When somebody dies in the movies, they play violins. But they didn't for Alva. Not even a goddamn Victrola. They say it didn't agree with the hospital regulations. Always singing around the house. Everything Alva's is mine now. I've also inherited all of my sister's bones. Albert and Clemens, and even the freight superintendent. They all disappeared, afraid that they might get stuck for expenses, I guess. But now they turn up again, all of them, like a bunch of bad pennies. They take me out places at night. I've got to be popular now, to parties and dances, and all of the railroad affairs. I can do bops.
Amen.
Don't slam the door. Shut it gently. Have you got a match? Please don't walk so heavily, please. There is no need to let the whole house know you're here. Have you got a match? I say, would you mind taking your shoes off? You're really making a dreadful row. Really, I can't bear noisy people. You do look idiotic standing there with one shoe on and one shoe off. Have you got a match? I'm very fond of a smoke. After dinner, with a glass of wine. Or before dinner, with a sherry.
I used to be a continuity girl, but I gave it up.
Yes, I'm beginning to think you're right. You meet such a good class of people.
Now you say an assistant director. I can see what you mean.
I mean, I could tell you had breeding the moment I saw you.
I'm extremely particular, you see.
I do like a certain amount of delicacy in men. A certain amount, a certain degree, a certain amount of refinement.
And you do see my point. Some men I couldn't possibly entertain, not even if I was starving. I don't want to be personal, but that word you used when you broke your lace, it made me shiver. I'm just not that type.
Made me wonder if you were as well bred as I thought. Have you got a match?
I know I had one somewhere. It's a dreadful area. I'm thinking of moving. The neighborhood is full of people of no class at all. But people have told me, the most distinguished people, that I could go anywhere. You could go anywhere, they've told me. You could be anything. Excuse me, I haven't eaten all day. Can't do that. Hiccups are from not eating, don't they? I mean, I'm no different from any other girl. In fact, I'm better. These so-called respectable girls, for instance. I'm sure they're much worse than I am. Well, you're an assistant director. Or you're continuity girls and secretaries. I'll bet they're very loose. Do you know what I've actually heard? I've heard that respectable men and women, solicitors' wives, go out and pick men up when their husbands are out on business. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, they're supposed to be respectable. You amuse me. You interest me. I'm a bit of a psychologist, you know. You really aim to be what you said you were. There is something childish in your face. Almost retarded. I do like that word. I'm not being personal, of course. Just being psychological. Of course. I can see you're one for the girls. Don't know why you had to pick on me this time of night. Really rather forward of you. All I do, I just entertain a few gentlemen of my own choice now and again. What girl doesn't?
What?
Was the hulk drunk when you dressed yourself? Have you slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time, such I carve thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valour as thou art to desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteem'st the ornament of life, a little coward in thine own esteem, letting thy dare not wait upon a wood, like a poor cat in the edit? What beast was that made you bravely set a prize to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man. No time, no place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They made themselves, and then their fetus now doesn't make you. I've given suck, and know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. I would, when it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless guts and dashed the brains out. Had I so sworn as you have done to this.